WOWGO AT2 with my freshly installed cloud wheels and tread lights. However, we won't be seeing the tread lights right now because as you can see it is bright and shiny. But yeah, this is what we're going to be riding at the cloud wheel install. Tread lights, red in the back, clear up front. Oh, and apologize for the contacts. It was for my part in this video that Brax is shooting back there, so I'm gonna have sunglasses on for the rest of this video, so I don't mean to freak you guys out. So I am going to do a little street ride in here in this parking lot and show you how this thing carves without going too fast because I don't have pads on or anything with me. Later on I'll go do a night ride where I get like lights and everything. I'll go fast, wear pads, it'll be fun. But let's just see how this thing carves right now. So I'm really liking the carving here. You can see these double Kingpin trucks. They literally can turn on a dime. It's pretty awesome. I'm still really shaky with it, getting used to it, but so far I'm loving it. Woo. And as you can see here, I've got the board upside down, and yes, it still rolls. These the air tires, they're so big that even if you flip the board upside down. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is flip this thing over on its side so that I can actually put my camera up topside and show you how I'm going to take this pneumatic wheel off and replace it with the cloud wheel. The gears and the motor and everything. So you're not going to be able to look at me for the next little bit. I'm just, I apologize for that. But yeah, let's get this going. What we're going to do here is just loosen this bolt up. Now you're going to have to pay attention here because there's the bolt. All right. Also a washer here. This washer is important to keep. So I would just recommend if you're gonna swap, just pay attention and don't rip this thing off without, keeping that washer safe. So here, what we're gonna do is just pull this thing off. And doing it this way actually is better because the washer will probably not pop out, but if you're doing it from the side or any other direction, this washer right here will pop out of the wheel, and it can run around the freaking floor and you lose it, whatever. It's very important to keep that washer. So just make sure that if that does get loose or whatever, just keep track of this not washer, this bearing here in the middle. Okay, so now we're at this point here. Since I've been riding this in the dirt and you can tell it's kind of dirty or whatever, I got this little can of compressed air, something like, just dust this stuff off a bit. Just so that it's all clean and good to go for me when I go in here. I'm gonna keep this handy. I'm probably gonna be using it again. Alright, so at this point, what we're going to want to do is take this cap off here, and then right after that, we're going to have to loosen up the the tension on the engine in order to be able to, or the tension on the motors in order to be able to put our cloud wheels on. But I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, so at this point we're going to take our hex wrench that came with the WOWGO AT2 box. We are going to go to the middle setting here, which I believe is 3 millimeters. That's what we're going to use to take the caps off, the protective covers off the back of the motors here. Because with the cloud wheels, they have different sizes. So these are for the pneumatic wheels. Well, that worked out. Okay. What are 2 screws? This guy's gone. Set these over here for right now. Next, what we have to do actually in order to be able to put the cloud wheels on, because they're going to be a little bit different than the pneumatic tires as far as the range here between the motor rotator here and the actual rotor. We're going to again go with that middle one, the 3 millimeter. Loosen this up just a bit, just so that it can adjust. Yeah, see that? All right, so once we're here, the next step is going to be to take our smaller belt that we're going to use for our cloud wheels, wrap it around our motor bracket here. Next step is going to be taking our wheel rotor. What we do here is just shove it down, and then you have to align the teeth with the teeth from the belt to the teeth in the motor. And then once this is aligned, hang on, let's push the rotor in a little bit more, make this easier because we can push it back out after. All right, here we go. Now we're aligned. Yeah, look at that, pretty. But you can tell here, look at that, that's not gonna work. So this is where we have to increase our tension. So this is where you're gonna have to, you just kind of have to feel out how you like to ride, because I feel like the WOWGO AT2, when it first came with the pneumatic wheels, these were really tight. I feel like it would be better if they were a little looser. So I think something like that is pretty much what you're wanting, like some kind of a bounce like that. And then so once you have that tension, you're gonna take that same hex wrench, the 3 millimeter, which I'm not on, and tighten up your motor bracket again. What we're going to do now is put the cloud wheels on. The iWonder all-terrain 120 millimeter cloud wheels. They are beautiful, they're squishy, they're just so freaking pretty, and yeah, I just can't wait. All right, so let's put these things on. So you can tell here, you can see a little bit there, you can see that little washer rotating on there, which is really nice that they already have that kind of pre-built in there for you. So really all you have to do to replace these is line up that washer hole to this. Boom, boom. Lock the teeth in to our rotor. And then push down. And that's it. Now we got a cloud wheel on there. All right, so remember earlier when I said to pay attention to these little things you're taking off the pneumatic tires? So this washer is still important. We're gonna throw it back on. bolt, obviously, still important. We're gonna put that back on. Typically for these bolts, especially on the back tires here, you're gonna look for about 2 threads exposed once you get finished tightening the bolt here. All right. So now we got our cloud wheel installed. These can also handle all terrain. Not as well, obviously, as the pneumatic tires, and you're not gonna have the comfort level that you have with pneumatic tires, but you feel the road more, you feel closer to it, you're closer to the street. I don't know, like it's a personal preference kind of thing, I feel like, with this, and it really depends on what you're trying to go do with the board, but by and large, for what I do with my skateboards, the cloud wheels are gonna be probably sitting on this board for a long time. Okay, so the next part, we gotta put the cap back on. And you can see, this is the cap that was on with the pneumatic tires. Obviously the pneumatic tires are huge, so I didn't really need to cover up a bunch. This is what comes on with the cloud wheels. You can tell, because we wanna protect our motor hub here. Alright guys, so we've got our iWonder 120mm cloud wheels installed on both, so let's see if this thing howls. It howls. Okay guys, so for the front wheels, these are really simple. All we're gonna do is take our handy dandy T-tool. Through our... I'm gonna line up again and I super appreciate them having the washer inside there for us already. Makes this so much easier. All right, and now we throw our washer back on. Okay, so when tightening up the front wheels, you're gonna want at first to go all the way down to where it's like tight, right? So that's like super tight right there, right? So for me, because I want to get the top speeds, I'll loosen it just a tad from that tightest spot, you know? It's where like when you can spin it, it just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. Yeah, that's what you're looking for right there. Like a good solid spin that just keeps going. So what I got here is it looks like about 2 threads, you know, out